Welcome back. New evidence compiled by federal prosecutors from Jim Comey's top lieutenants reportedly showed the former FBI director signed off on leaking classified information to reporters just before the 2016 presidential election. That's according to FBI memos sent to the Senate and House Judiciary Committees. The memos do not state what classified information was leaked or if Comey was authorized to declassify them for the media. But the incident was investigated by multiple prosecutors, all of whom declined to bring criminal charges against Comey. Joining me now is the man who broke the story wide open, the editor-in-chief of Just the News, John Solomon. John, great to have you this morning. Thank you so much for being here. What can you tell us about this breaking news?
Well, this is a familiar story, a protection racket, right? Anytime a Democrat or a friend of a Democrat in government has wrongdoing lodged against them, there is a protection racket. I want to remind people that around the time that the Justice Department, the Trump Justice Department, discovered this evidence, James Comey had testified that he and his top lieutenants weren't leaking. The Justice Department knew that to be false. They had evidence that Comey authorized his chief of staff, James Rubicki, to allow his chief counsel, James Baker, to leak a classified piece of information, actually two pieces of information, to the New York Times back in 2016. Baker acknowledged it, admitted it. So you had an inner circle player inside James Comey, inner circle, that could say there was a leak of classified information. It was authorized by James Comey, and it did contradict James Comey's testimony to Congress, and they took no action. It's a familiar vein. It doesn't matter whether it's the Clinton Foundation, the Clinton emails, the Hunter Biden tax problems. Every time agents tried to bring legitimate cases against people, they got shut down. It was like the steel curtain of politics.
Is there criminality here, John?
Certainly, leaking of information, unless the person's authorized to do so, is criminal. And by the way, this may not be a historical exercise, the release of these documents. Under some statutes, including the Internal Security Act of 1950, there's a 10-year statute of limitations for willing and knowing leaks of classified information that harm the national interest. We'll have to see if the Pam Bondi Justice Department goes in that direction. The other thing that is pretty interesting, and we know this for sure, Kash Patel opened up a predicated criminal case that looks at the last 10 years of weaponization as one ongoing conspiracy, sort of like the mob skimming profits off of casinos across multiple casinos over decades. You can go back and charge things outside of the statute of limitations when you look at this as one ongoing conspiracy to protect Democrats and to violate the civil liberties of Republicans and conservatives who were targeted. So that's two options that Pam Bondi's Justice Department has. The question is, will they go that route? There is some sign of activity before multiple grand juries around the country. So things are starting to ramp up. We'll see if that leads to charges.
Yeah, because the 5-year statute of limitations does not apply when it comes to conspiracy. I want to talk about that and the big story that you're working on right now for next week. John Solomon, stay right there. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We're back with Just the News editor-in-chief John Solomon, and you're working on a big story for next week. What is it?
It's a really unbelievable story. So we know that James Comey was investigating Hillary Clinton for the misuse of private email to do government business. In the documents that Pam Bondi and Kash Patel have made public to Congress, you see a similar thing going on inside the FBI. The documents refer to the use of private email by James Comey's chief of staff to try to facilitate an unauthorized leak to media. When the FBI went to try to go get those emails, the U.S. Attorney's Office in Washington said, nah, don't bother. Another example of just turning a blind eye to remarkable things. But the FBI knew that using emails for private business or government business was wrong. And here they knew the FBI was doing the same thing. They gave them a pass.
Wow. Well, I'll end the show the way I began it. The chickens are coming home to roost. John Solomon, good to see you.
Hey, it's Will Cain. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Cain podcast for full episodes right now.